Like most kids who grew up in the 80s and 90s, sugary breakfast cereals were a big part of my morning routine. Still to this day, I love waking up on the weekends, having a bowl of one of my favorite cereals, and watching some cartoons. In this day and age, we are a lot more health conscious and careful about what and how we market things to children. But back in my day, it was open season, with companies using all sorts of marketing tools to try and get us to pick their products. From colourful mascots, memorable commercials with catchy theme songs, and even including toys and prizes. One of the easiest ways to ensure kids would pick up your product was to tie it in with a popular franchise or movie.
There's a new cereal in the neighborhood with O's and ghosts.
Tastes real good! Ghostbusters!
For years, our favourite characters have adorned all sorts of products, from chocolate bars to bathroom products, and breakfast cereal tie-ins is one of those marketing tactics which has never really seemed to fade in popularity. Even today, nearly 50 years later, Fred Flintstone still adorns the box of Fruity Pebbles.
Fruit delicious.
For this episode, I want to take a look at some of the weirdest properties which have been turned into breakfast cereals. Now, admittedly, I haven't tried any of the items on this list, and that's mostly because these are North American releases. But this list is based solely on the license itself, not whether the cereal was good or not. Number 5. Urkelos. Steve Urkel was a catchphrase spewing icon who came to prominence in the 90s after appearing in the hit sitcom Family Matters. The clumsy nerd with the heart of gold was portrayed by Jaleel White, who was also known for voicing Sonic the Hedgehog. He became a hot commodity with his own merchandise, his own dance, and obviously his own cereal, which was released in 1991.
Did I do that?
Now, I have to admit, I love Family Matters, and would most likely purchase Urkelos if they were available today. But that being said, it's still a bit of a head-scratching concept.
I've got a great new cereal. Did I do that? Oh, Laura, when I find you, you'll taste Cherulo. The Urkelite part of this complete breakfast.
Number 4. Gremlins. I'll start off by saying Gremlins is an awesome movie and I love the property, as mentioned in my previous reviews. We've seen plenty of great movies turned into cereals, such as Batman or Jurassic Park, both of which are still marketing juggernauts to this very day, but a movie about furry creatures which are turned into mischievous green gremlins if they eat after midnight doesn't exactly strike me as prime breakfast cereal fodder. Either way, the cereal was introduced in 1984 and appears to have been quite popular.
Are you hungry? Hungry as a gremlin? Here's gremlin cereal.
Gremlins, gremlins, bite after bite. What a tasty way to satisfy a gremlin appetite.
Gremlin cereal is part of this complete breakfast.
Gremlin, yum yum.
Number 3. Mr. T. Mr. T gained popularity in the early 80s, most notably as the character of B.A. Baracus in the TV series The A-Team. His colourful persona, unique look, as well as his iconic "I pity the fool" catchphrase, led to Mr. T becoming an entity unto himself. This led to many appearances over the years in both film and television.
No, I don't hate Balboa, but I pity the fool.
In 1983, we saw the release of the Mr. T animated TV series, which was followed by the release of the Mr. T cereal in 1984. While definitely an icon, I'm just not too sure I want Mr. T staring back at me from the cereal box.
I know Cool, and Cool's teaming up with a good balanced breakfast.
Teaming up with Mr. T cereal. That's getting on the team that knows how cool breakfast can be. You get a crispy corn taste with a touch of brown sugar. Teaming up with Mr. T.
It's Cool.
Teaming up with Mr. T.
Number 2. Atlantis, the Lost Empire. I was debating including this one on the list, and that's because it was released as a limited edition serial in 2001, thus making it the most recent serial on this list. But as I thought it over, I just thought it's way too odd not to be included. Whereas other properties covered in this video were all ultra successful in their own rights, the film this serial took its license from, Disney's Atlantis the Lost Empire, didn't exactly set the world on fire. Sure, the film made money, but in the pantheon of iconic Disney movies you could base a serial off of, Atlantis is probably right near the bottom. While still a really weird choice, the serial itself actually looks pretty awesome. Number 1. Cabbage Patch Kids. Now that we've covered film and television properties, we now enter the world of breakfast cereals based on toy lines, which is where things get really odd. The Cabbage Patch Kids is one of the most successful dolls lines in history and is still going strong today. The brand's popularity peaked in the 80s, which is, I guess, why the decision was made to release the Cabbage Patch Kids cereal in 1985.
These are kids who love these Cabbage Patch Kids, and this is new Cabbage Patch Kids cereal. It's the perfect match. It's Cabbage Patch Kids cereal.
While not nearly as prevalent today as in the 80s and 90s, licensed breakfast cereals are still popular, and it's a trend I don't really see going away. And that's because it's a marketing strategy that works.
Nintendo.
Super Mario Jump.
Nintendo.
In a fruit flavored crunch.
Thanks very much for watching this episode of KB's Top 5. Please drop your comments below and let me know what you thought of my picks and thought of this episode, and I'll catch you guys next time.